Hi, everyone. So I'm a digital consultant for enterprise architecture. And a while ago, I met with my friends and they asked me, how do you know that you're doing a good job, a fine job? And I started to wondering about that question because enterprise architecture has a quite long feedback cycle. So it takes months or years to see EA initiatives come to life. And I wanted to improve that. So I started to think about it. And first of all, I thought, what is enterprise architecture all about? It's about enabling the flow of value in an organization. And to do that, EA delivers like principles, technologies, roadmaps, everything to reach the desired business capabilities. And this can be done by a single person in a company or by a group of persons. However, if they do it in an isolated manner, that's when we face an ivory tower. When I started to work in IT, I faced such an ivory tower. We were asked to fill in a software architecture document for every software module change, and it felt just like the acronym, just said. So I want to make a difference here, and I think we need to break that ivory tower down. We need to make enterprise architecture communities and bringing business and IT closer together. And when speaking about that, we also run over the concept of agile architecture. The concept of agile architecture is not a new one. It's actually quite old. It exists for over 25 years now. So it ranges from software architecture until enterprise architecture. And I have the feeling that especially for enterprise architecture, it is not well developed yet. So DevOps is very different as it is a practice made from practitioners for practitioners. And it's more recent. So I think it might just be the right approach for agile architecture and enterprise architecture. So you see here the famous DevOps infinity loop where we continuously deliver value. And we can apply that loop to an enterprise architecture layer. So here we bring DevOps development and operations together. We can do the same on an enterprise architecture layer, bringing business and IT together. When designing, discovering, and analyzing the business needs, defining the EA deliverables that are needed, like principle, technology choices, and implement, operate, and monitor them on IT side. Of course, during that feedback cycle, we need to gather data to base our EA decisions on it. And it should not take years or months. So the Scaled Agile framework developed the Calmer approach, which is also a definition of DevOps that can help us. Culture, automation, lean flow, measurement, and recovery. That's what Calmer stands for. And the first four are elements we can have a look at for enterprise architecture. So first of all, the culture is very important. So EIs need to go out of the ivory tower and create enterprise architecture communities. And that's not an easy task because it requires a shift left also from them. Also filling in SADs is very cumbersome. So maybe some automation for documentation work. There are a lot of enterprise architecture repositories where you can now integrate sources existing in the organization itself. So for instance, interface information from APIs you can integrate automatically in your architecture repository. So that would be a huge advantage for a lot of developers that fill in this information manually right now. Another part is to understand the flow of enterprise architecture deliverables. So who is involved when? When do we speak to business? When do we talk to IT? And which deliverable serves where? Also create an architecture hypothesis and elaborate a minimum viable architecture, an MVI. Try to test out your new principle in the department that is affected. Ask, how did they feel working with the new principle? How many times were they actually reading that guideline that you provided? So measure your MVA. And with this all said, I hope I can provide an answer to my friends next time they ask me if I did a fine job. I think I did a fine job when I enabled the flow of value in an organization, tearing down that ivory tower and bringing up an enterprise architecture community, joining business and IT. And that was my Ignite about breaking down the enterprise architecture ivory tower with DevOps. Thanks so much. My name is Ulrike, and if you have questions, please ask them later.